everyone, I'm here at the Bible reading. I hope you're having a good day. Oh, let's see here. Be good, Shirley.
Let's see here.
Quit mocking me.
Quit mocking me.
Stop.
Stop.
Go to the bathroom.
Not plan on it.
Okay. Today we'll be reading Romans chapter 1, verse 18 through 32, Psalm 10, verses 1 through 15, and Proverbs chapter 19, verses 6 and verse 7. You do it then. In Romans, we'll be talking about God's wrath against sinful humanity. We're in Romans now because, remember, Paul went to Rome as a prisoner with others, but he's in Rome. So that's why he is speaking. That's why it's Romans. He is speaking to the Romans now. So the book of Romans started yesterday. Let's get started. The wrath of God is being revealed from heaven against all the godlessness and wickedness of people who suppress the truth by their wickedness. Since what may be known about God is plain to them, because God has made it plain to them, for since the creation of the world, God's invisible qualities, His eternal power and divine nature have been clearly seen, being understood from what has been made, so that people are without excuses. For although they knew God, they neither glorified Him as God, nor gave thanks to Him. But their thinking became futile, and their foolish hearts were darkened. You know, a lot of them turned to idols, made by human hands, that could not speak, see, or talk. Or, you know, could not speak, could not see, couldn't hear. Made by man. God's not made by man, God made man. Okay? Although they claimed to be wise, they became fools and exchanged the glory of the immortal God for images made to look like a mortal human being, and birds and animals and reptiles. Just like on the way to the Promised Land, when God rescued the Hebrews out of the land of Egypt, where they were enslaved for many years. They ended up making, when Moses was up getting the 10 Commandments on the stone tablets on the mountain, Mount Sinai, the others got tired of waiting, not knowing if Moses would come back or not. But anyway, they knew God was real after all God done for them. And they turned their back on God. Not once, but many times. But at that time, they made an image of a calf, a golden calf, and worshipped the calf. So that's what, you know, that's an example of what the kind of things they made, and worshiped that crazy stuff. Like some people, I'm sure, still do today. And we know they do in some other countries, but some people living here even will still do that stuff. Therefore, God gave them over in the sinful desires of their hearts to sexual impurity, for the degrading of their bodies with one another, They exchanged the truth about God for a lie and worshipped and served created things rather than the Creator who is forever praised. Amen. Because of this, God gave them over to shameful lust. Even their women exchanged natural sexual relations for unnatural ones. We could talk about bestiality, for one thing. If you don't know what that is, it's people doing sexual things with animals. Yeah, that's true. In the same way, the men also abandoned natural relations with women and were inflamed with lust for one another. Men committed shameful acts with other men and received in themselves the due penalty for their error. Furthermore, just as they did not think it worthwhile to retain the knowledge of God, so God gave them over to a depraved mind, so that they do what ought not to be done. They have become filled with every kind of wickedness, evil, greed, and depravity. They are full of envy, murder, strife, deceit, and malice. They are gossips, slanderers, God-haters, insolent, arrogant, and boastful. They invent ways of doing evil. They disobey their parents. They have no understanding, no fidelity, no love, no mercy. Although they know God's righteous decree that those who do such things deserve death, they not only continue to do these very things, but also approve of those who practice them. Amen. And that's where we're stopping at the book of Romans today. Tell me what idol someone could worship that could part the Red Sea for his people to cross safely to the other side, and then put the sea back together to wash away the Egyptians who were after them. And that's only one thing he done. You know all the plagues that happened before then, and all the other ancestors since the beginning of man, since God made Adam and Eve. God don't turn his back on us. We turn our backs on God. He's always there for us. He's our Father. Just like you loved your children. They done something bad, they get mad at you, and they leave or don't talk to you or whatever. You know, if they come back and say, you know, I'm sorry, please forgive me. You're going to welcome your child hopefully with open arms and still love them, of course, even if they still are not come around yet. You know what I mean? That's how God is with us, but even more so. Look at all the children God has in this world and how some of them treat him. Some of them deny his own existence. It's like they spit in his face. And if it wasn't for God, they wouldn't be here. Alright guys, so that's where we're stopping with Romans today. And now we're going to start Psalm 10, reading verses 1 through 15. Why, Lord, do you stand far off? Why do you hide yourself in times of trouble? In his arrogance, the wicked man hunts down the weak who are caught in the schemes he devises. He boasts about the cravings of his heart. He blesses the greedy and reviles the Lord. In his pride, the wicked man does not seek him. In all his thoughts, there is no room for God. His ways are always prosperous. Your laws are rejected by him. He sneers at all his enemies. He says to himself, nothing will ever shake me. He swears, no one will ever do me harm. His mouth is full of lies and threats. Trouble and evil are under his tongue. He lies in wait near the villages. From ambush he murders the innocent. His eyes watch in secret for his victims. Like a lion in cover, he lies in wait. He lies in wait to catch the helpless. He catches the helpless and drags them off in his net. His victims are crushed. They collapse. They fall under his strength. He says to himself, God will never notice. He covers his face and never sees. Arise, Lord. Lift up your hand, O God. Do not forget the helpless. Why does the wicked man revile God? You know why? Because they know what they're doing is wrong. So they don't want God, there, because then it'll make them be like, I know I'm not supposed to be doing this, but they want to keep doing that. So they don't want God around. Why does he say to himself, he won't call me to account? But you, God, see the trouble of the afflicted. You consider their grief and take it in hand. The victims commit themselves to you. You are the helper of the fatherless. Break the arm of the wicked man. Call the evildoer to account for his wickedness that would not otherwise be found out. Amen. That's where we're stopping today with Psalm 10, with verse 15. But that is, when they say here, break the arm of the wicked man. Call the evildoer to account for his wickedness that would not otherwise be found out. God always knows everything. So they may think they're hiding stuff from everybody. Maybe the people on this earth, yes. But not to God. God knows everything. He knows if somebody does something. He knows if they truly got a motive for it, or if they really care. He knows what you're thinking before you say it, and he knows how you feel in your heart. Just like if, let's say, you pretend to be friends with this person and, try to help them to get on their good side, act like you're always there for them, but truly you're devising schemes against them and harbor hate for them in your heart. They might not know that. They might fall for your lies. They might fall for that person's lies. Most times that happens. But God knows. And remember, God is always watching. You can't hide from God. You can't do anything in secret. For God always knows. And that is because He's the one that matters. Because you will stand before God in judgment for what you have done good and what you have done bad. And we will have to answer for it. All right. So we're going to finish up today's Bible reading with Proverbs 19, verses 6 and 7. Many curry favor with a ruler, and everyone is the friend of one who gives gifts. The poor are shunned by all their relatives. How much more do their friends avoid them? Though the poor pursue them with pleading, they are nowhere to be found. And sadly, it's like that mostly all the time. Not with everybody. But, you're poor and you're in need. Let's say you need just a little bit of help because you don't have no food or anything, okay? And certain family members, not just even friends, but family members, will just laugh at you and not even try to help you. That happens so much. Just like people homeless and their families and friends won't take them in. But if that person won the lottery, you can ask anybody who's won the lottery, I'm sure. But it's caused nothing but trouble ever since they won, because all the family and friends that never wanted anything to do with them are now there saying, remember me, cousin? Remember when we done this or that, years ago? You're my favorite, or oh, you're my favorite brother, or you've always been my best friend. I love you. You know I would always do anything for you. Really? Last year, I was homeless and starving. I was sick and in pain on the street in the wintertime. And you wouldn't let me spend the night. Not one night. You didn't take me out for a meal. You didn't bring me a sandwich, an apple, anything. You avoided me like the plague. And sadly, it's like that. It really is. And that's horrible. Because imagine you being in that person's shoes and them treating you that way. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. We had that across our room on the bulletin board in elementary school even. It's just sad. If you can help somebody, help them. Help them. Even if you don't know, you may think, oh, I know what their true motive really is, or they're not really going to use the money for that or whatever. You don't know that. All you know is what they told you. But God knows the truth. And they'll have to answer to God. You will still be blessed for helping someone who asked you for help. God knows the truth. Always remember that. They'll have to answer to God, same as we do. Okay guys, so that was our Bible reading. I hope it touched your hearts. Let me go through our prayer requests. Okay. Please keep the following people in prayer. Heather Whitting, my mom Rhonda Karshner. She actually has to go to the doctor tomorrow to one of her cancer doctors. And I think she and Jimmy will be coming here on Friday. Today's Wednesday. And please keep Pat Dempsey in your prayers. Sherm, Cindy and Jim Welsh, Dora Harper, Layla and her son Emil, the Burt family, Danette Rager, Abby and Jimmy Myers, Lori, Dean Detty, Randy and Jody Post, Garnet Boyer, and Elizabeth Jeffries and Judy Thompson. Alright guys, that was our Bible reading for today. I hope it touched your hearts. Let's bring those souls to Jesus, and God willing, we'll see you guys again tomorrow with another Bible reading. Bye guys. God bless.